Okay, and action. Hello, everybody. How are you? And welcome to Spiritually Raw. Thank you so much for your energy exchange with us today. We hope you woke to the most miracle morning and are having the most fortunate day today. We have a very special guest on for you today, Anya, also known as Anya.
That's good.
Hey, as you can see, yeah, that's her right there. So we're going to get there in just a second here. Thank you all very much for really just when you're sharing the channel, liking it, commenting, if you would. You guys have been really great about that. And also, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button so it allows us to continually notify you of great guests like Anya coming on, and also to let other people know about the channel. So thank you so much, and much love to you on that. So a little bit about Anya. She's the author of 44 Becoming Self. And she's also got a new YouTube channel, and we're going to have links here for you. And she's just one of those ones, you know, that you see out there, and she's got a great vibe about her. You're going to find out for yourself. And but would recommend that you definitely go check that out again, her channel, and we'll have it on there for you too. But Anna's got she's got her YouTube channel, and is it Through the Eyes of?
Yeah.
Through the Eyes of, yeah.
Eyes of, yes.
Yeah.
And
I will
you know what?
explain later what's the main idea behind this, Jay.
Yeah, for sure.
And actually, the only reason I don't have your YouTube link up yet because Anya just started her YouTube channel. So we are encouraging everybody to go there right now and subscribe to it, because once you get over 100, the first 100's the hard. Well, the first 1,000's the hardest. But once you get past 1,000, you'll be flying. And then once you get to 100, you can use a customized URL. So that's the only reason I didn't put it up yet. But we'll have the alternate one on the screen too. But before the show, you asked me why did we want to interview you? And I would love to share the reason why. I was watching a Charlie Ward's interview the other day, and you were on it. And I was like, oh my gosh, look at this beautiful lady. She's so sweet, and she has a beautiful message. And the whole interview, and I even made a note on, well, the first one actually that I saw, you were on Pimpy's show. And then I was like, oh my gosh. And I looked you up on the internet, on YouTube. And then I saw that Charlie Ward was your first interview. Pimpy was your third interview. I forget who the second was, one in between. And I thought,
Jen McCarthy. Sorry.
Oh, that's right, Jen McCarthy. Yep, exactly. And I was sold the first time I saw you on Pimpy's interview. Your soul was literally just beaming with this beautiful energy. And the interview that you did with Charlie Ward, it was so endearing. And it was so heartfelt, and it was so lovely. And I said to Jay, I'm like, we have got to help her. We have got to help you build your social media, because you deserve it. You have such a beautiful message, and your energy is just so lovely. And you guys are going to love her. And so we're so excited to bring her to you today, and for you to be able to share your story.
I want to tell you what's really fascinating about this moment is that I was born with this sense of something more inside. And I know we all do psychic abilities, and we can sense the energy of pretty much everything if we just allow that. Mm-hmm. So what I'm going with this is that I feel like this actually might be, I've been waiting for this for a long time. I really shut myself for a long time. And I still live very solitary life. And I kind of feel like I want to come out of it finally. You know, that solitary life is a gift, like I said on that interview with Jen, but at the same time can be a burden too, because I am actually very social, and I love to travel, and I worked throughout my life in amazing places, very high-end luxury brands. So I was exposed, you know, Chanel, Valentino, Tom Ford, Christian Dior. I was exposed to this type of environment when you're surrounded with certain things that represent the top, right?
Yeah, represent luxury.
By the standard of many. And many are striving to reach that level, to have those items. But as I was continuing on that for a long time, because I was getting really good at sales. I work at the boutiques across United States, Las Vegas at the Wynn at Chanel. I opened the Encore Chanel.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, Tom Ford and the Crystals in Vegas, Saks Fifth Avenue in New York City. I was manager of Dior department. I mean, a lot of things. And Valentino, Beverly Hills, all of this, right? Why I'm saying this is because people think like this is all glamorous and beautiful. Yes, it is, but it's like what's happening with Hollywood right now. People bought a certain vision and they accepted that this is ultimately the goal for many. And as I was in it, I was getting better and better in the craft of selling, but I was unfulfilled because my soul knew, like, I want fulfillment, I want freedom, I want creativity. You're not creative when you're just reaching the numbers, you know?
Exactly.
So where I'm going with this is, I was writing my book for the last 6 years. And that book kept me alive, literally. Because I was dealing with depression and nervous breakdowns. I reached the point in the United States when I was so burned out, I just couldn't take it anymore. The whole system, I was just really done with this. And an act of desperation, I literally left United States. I had nervous breakdown and I went back to Poland, to my parents, which was never really the place to live with them, but my soul told me to go. And I don't want to go now into details. There is a long story behind it, but where I'm going with this, it was also important for my soul journey, okay? So now let's go back to Charlie Ward. I am very, very strong on intuition. Actually, my book is based on my life and the power of the inner voice that guides us through life. So what happened is my intuition told me many things and lately told me to ask Charlie certain questions. So I reached out to him, and the intention, guys, was not to be on his show at all, actually. The intention was to have him as my guest on my, finally, that I will start this YouTube channel that I was postponing for years. So when I saw that he actually posted that video on his show.
It's got like 50, 60,000 views. Did you know
like
that?
52, I think.
There's more than that now.
But blown me away was that he put the cover of my book. This is like my baby. I don't have children. And I was like, oh my God, he put my book on the cover. And then I was ready. I'm like, now they're gonna crucify me, those people. So I was scrolling through the comments and I'm like, I'm ready. All right, I'm ready. My English is not excellent. I talk too much. I'm too passionate. I interrupt, everything. And then I'm reading and people are like,
the feedback was amazing.
And I started to cry because I haven't felt this much love for so long. And then my book,
you're gonna make me cry. I need a tissue.
Are we recording this? This is great.
I get a tissue.
This is great for ratings, everybody. Can you both cry at the same time? Oh gosh, this is a kid. This is the best.
And then I was like, my Instagram, because I am not a fan of Facebook at all.
Yeah.
And I know that Instagram is part of Facebook, but what I like about Instagram, because I love to travel and I love beautiful images and places, I like the pictures on Instagram, right? So I want to grow my Instagram. So then I see like all of a sudden the followers, and then the DM, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to respond to every single person.
That's the best thing you could do.
So,
that is the absolute, and on your YouTube, definitely when you have the, I was about to say when you have the time, but I'm going to change what I'm going to say. Make the time to respond to people on the YouTube that are leaving you messages. And it's going to really, I promise you, it's going to take off like a rocket.
But before you ask me, Jay, one more thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
Then one of these new followers from Instagram, mind you, from all around the world, people, like, I love you all, seriously, like, because what I want to just emphasize in this, and this is very important, when people compliment like this or the other way, but what I want to say, what they see in me is reflection of themselves. I just want them to remember, because we all have these moments when we get angry or we don't like, or we want to like, but this is where we are coming from. So we truly mirror one another. So someone DM
That
me,
was the angels right there.
oh, boom, someone DM me and they said, Anya, you were on Pimpy show. And I was like, what? Because I mentioned Pimpy during the interview. And then I'm opening this link and no, this is literally, and then I see, you know, Pimpy investment chat, you know, buy from our friends, Money Metals Exchange. And then all of a sudden, I am there. And I literally, guys, I felt like, because I put this book aside, promoting this book, when this whole lockdown has started, I put this aside. And I felt, in a way, I felt God told me to investigate, and I really go deep. I feel like my brain is, and my soul, I process a lot, and I gain a lot of information from different topics. But when I saw this on Pimpy's channel, I was so moved, because I felt like, oh my God, someone really acknowledged me there, and they don't even, so.
You know what? That's great. And
this
you know
is
what?
just the beginning of your awesome journey. This is just the beginning.
And continue,
enjoy every minute of it.
Yeah, continue to harness it. Really, just keep embracing it so it gets more. So I want to drive in. And I want to really get our audience to get to know you at a core level, and as far as why you're doing what you're doing right now. Your home country is Poland, and you witnessed a regime change. Yes, while you were there.
I grew up. So interesting, because I actually was born in a town which is called Szczecin. In German, they pronounce it Stettin. So that part of Poland is the west side of Poland. And when the Second World War ended, they moved the borders. So Poland lost the east side, a lot of parts of land of the east side, and they gained the west side. So all this migration, imagine the trauma from the war, and then they move people. All of it. So I was born in this part of Poland, which is about an hour to the Baltic coast. So it's northwest, okay? Like an hour, 2 hours to Berlin. If I fly international, Berlin, Tegel, and then from there. And I was 8 years old. Yeah, I grew up in the time when there was like 2 TV channels.
Wow.
I was remote control on my father's request, go change the channel.
What were you, did you grow up, was it a remote area?
No, but you know, actually there was, when you're a child, you see things differently.
Yeah.
We never lacked anything in our household. We were like a middle-class family, but what was interesting with communism was that in a way it seemed to me, by my own like child thinking, that everyone was kind of equal, except those who were in the party. Those were like, you know, the prominents.
Untouchable.
Right, untouchable. And you know, the thing is that that I lived through times when like people were helping one another. Like my mother's side family was sending boxes with food, and like literally eggs were like, not like we were starving, we were not, but people just wanted to do this to
People
help.
just shared like that.
That's nice.
Yeah, and they lived in the village, and we lived like in a really big town, like a harbor town. Szczecin is a harbor town. It's a big city. I mean, for Poland, it's definitely a big city.
Is your family still there?
No, my mom passed away. My father is there. He actually, in 2 days, he will be 88. So
God bless him.
88.
You're for, yeah, well, that's right. So what happened? You went on a trip to Normandy in France, and you discovered what you were looking for at 44. Is that right?
So good that you asked this question.
Well, because we just said the 44 and the 88, so I thought it'd be a good time to ask. So yeah.
44 it represents how old I was when I finally understood that I have to write books and be a writer. And I started to download the books. I have at this point about 4 more books in me.
Wow.
And what is about Normandy, guys? This is very interesting thing here. Because when I lived in New York, and I tell you, this is an amazing story. When I lived in New York, and I was going to this, you know, it's intense city, it's the energy. So I needed some outlet, like I needed to balance myself. You know, you work for this high brand, and then it's intensity, and you never, you're never alone, but you're kind of always alone. Strange thing.
Yep, that's
So
true.
it is. It's very, you're caught up in this, like, it's very strange because now it's not the same. Now I cannot see what's happening there because it's heartbreaking, really. It's not easy place to live anyway, but now I cannot imagine. Like, I pray for those who are there because it's very difficult now there.
It's hell right now for
Yeah,
them.
it is hell.
Yeah, but in that time I went to the Tai Chi studio because I used to practice like the basics of Tai Chi. I thought it was the original Tai Chi, like from China. It wasn't. It was something that was created by some Korean guy, kind of like they want to get you in, and then you pay this membership, whatever it was. God sent the right person. There was a girl who was like a healer. So she was healing my body like from energy, kind of like Reiki in a way. And then one day, and this is all connected to Normandy, one day on Saturday, she said, so come for this meditation. It will be tapping meditation. I said, okay. And I went, it was just me and her. And we started the ceremony and she put on the music, and this music had this kind of like Celtic Irish vibe. And I was tapping, you know, in your like lower, how you say this, abdomen, you know, where is the gut, where is the solar plexus area?
The solar plexus, yeah.
I was a certain way of tapping. And then all of a sudden, guys, I went into different time zone. And I was on a horse, and it was beautiful black horse, and I was on a coast, and it was about to rain, and I felt I am a man and I'm a warrior.
Wow.
And when I saw this, I heard this horse, you know, when they make the sound like horses do. And
Yes.
I was so empowered by this. And then I got snapshot after snapshot after snapshot of, this was the Middle Age time. And what I heard from the spirit was Normandy, 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 right? Norman and Normandy. So I left, I have goosebumps now. I went home, and on my way home, I was still feeling like that energy of this warrior. And people were like looking at me. I could see like they were sensing this. So then I researched, and few years later, something was telling me to follow the path of William the Conqueror. And in Mont Saint-Michel, which is north of France, and that place is the second most visited in France after Eiffel Tower. And there is an abbey that has this gold statue on the very top. And that abbey was protected by the Archangel Michael. I have very strong connection with him.
With Archangel Michael?
Yes, Archangel Michael, with all the wars and protected. And I literally felt when I send you later, I will text you pictures. I was walking a certain part of this abbey. You know, those are monumental buildings. We're talking like Middle Age. And I saw the stream on the picture I was taking, the pure light. So what I'm going with this is that I was 44 years old when I took this trip. And it was there that I felt this absolute confirmation, and it was to be a writer and to step on this path.
Wow.
And the next place, the last place was, the final chapter was Chateau de la Ballot. It's a privately owned place, like a hotel, bread and breakfast, but in this beautiful French chateau. And I didn't know, guys, that I was actually guided there by the spirit of Victor Hugo. And
who's
Balzac.
that? Who's Victor?
Victor Hugo, the Miserables, the writer.
Oh, Les Miserables? Oh.
Les Miserables.
You say it
Miserables.
Obviously better.
Yeah, you say it.
No, because I don't speak French yet. I should learn because, you know. But anyway, yeah, so I feel a lot of things, you know.
You're very intuitive, for sure.
Would you consider yourself like let me actually go backwards a little bit. So when you actually were at this yoga studio or wherever you were at, and you were tapping on your solar plex, and then
Had visions?
Yeah, what was it, a vision, or was it an out of body experience that
Yeah,
happened
that's
there
what I
for
was
you?
wondering.
So when you were tapping on the solar
You
spec,
know,
would you?
Jack, it was like I allow not to focus on my body. So it's almost like I stepped into the vision.
You stepped into the vision. Okay.
Cool.
So when you stepped into the vision and you went there and you saw you were a man and you were a warrior at that point in time and the horse was there, what was the symbolism that you took from that? Out of all that, what was the symbolism? Did you look at it as like this is a past life? Was this a maybe
100%.
definitely a past? So it was definitely
Because yes, because I also did years later. I did 2 past life regressions. One was in Las Vegas where I lived again. I moved back and forth, and one was in Hawaii. So I've seen my past lives, and it was explanation of certain relationships with certain people that were in my life. And my attributes and my behaviors, like what you're working on in this life, right? It's like that. What to complete, how to evolve. So because we do this, like I see this now too. It's like I have to break the cycle of this loneliness now. And I'm so ready, but now it's
I
like
can help you with that.
yeah, the matchmaker here. This is the matchmaker for real.
I have a bunch of people that would take that job in a heartbeat for sure. So don't worry about that. I got that covered for you.
Do you? I want to talk a little bit about your experience now when you were living in Poland and you saw the regime change. Now, tell us what you think about when you see that. What would you say to us here in America about what you've experienced? And are we on the track for something like this right now as you see it, based on what you've lived through? Or are we still far off? Can you give us a scope, comparatively speaking?
Did the screen freeze? Where are we at? Third?
And
so I was thinking about this actually many years ago, because you work in those places. I'm from different country, different experience, and I always say, and this is not to be
Oh, shoot.
yes. So I will answer this way, and this is not a criticism, it's an observation. From someone who comes from the background where communism was, I was 17 when communism has really ended with the round table negotiation, okay? What I think it is, and I think that was also done intentionally to people. I'm not saying you have to suffer through your life, but in United States, I don't think people ever have experienced this level of challenge and oppression that a lot of other countries did. Therefore, it's hard for many people to understand and relate, because the truly is, this is very important what's happening right now. This has to, and it is painful, but when you think of it, there were many other countries throughout the history that went through much more in trauma. Okay, so I think what is beauty about this moment, that this is not just one country that is going through this. This is the entire planet Earth.
Yes, that's true.
We have to remember that the Earth is a living organism. It's a being. Okay, so it's also going through stages of cleaning. So now, I know that it's not easy, and I know that not everyone understands what communism is, but people have some sense of awareness what it is, and it all comes down to freedom. I don't think truly, now looking at how the system was operating, now when more and more is revealed that this country was ever truly, it was free maybe in some stages, but it wasn't free lately at all. It was an illusion of freedom. It was a slavery to the credit cards, which I was a victim as well, because I moved here. So I caught up in this credit score and all of this. It was a slavery to You have to have this, you have to have that. You have to work, 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 work.
Especially in the industry that you were in. It can be very
Exactly.
It can be intoxicating. You can get caught
So
up
I
in that
want to
really
encourage
fast.
people, they will get through this. They will get through this, but they have to understand, because people want this to end. Okay, listen, guys, I want to travel too. I want to go to England. I cannot wait. Like, I need Europe in my spirit. I need it. But I know that it's a joke when I say sacrifice. What sacrifice this really is, when there are people literally kept underground. Yes, kept underground. Like, what is she talking about? Yes, kept underground. And you cannot see the pictures now because this is not the time for this to come out.
Okay, so let's
Like
talk.
they've
if we
never
are
seen the
paying-
light of day.
Let's talk about that for a second. When you say this is not the time for this to come out, when will be the time for this to come out for this? Because I
You
know a
know,
lot of
Jay,
people have been waiting.
yeah.
When do you think it would be?
You know what I think? Okay, let's just mention this for a moment. I come from Poland, which is a country where church religion is very strong still.
Oh, yeah.
For those people to even face the fact that Vatican is not as holy as they thought entire life, and that there were actually happening unbelievably horrible things down that in Vatican, and then how even the altar was built, what it symbolizes, and then John Paul II. I'm still processing this. I'm like, was he like this too? Was John Paul II the same way? Because he was an icon. He still is an icon. So when I mean, I don't want to say he did this or that, but now I am looking at his image with children and have a different perception. So when they will wake up to this, I feel like this: older people will be
Devastated.
devastated. Younger people, a lot of younger people don't really go to church so much, but I think what's gonna happen, guys, I think what it will be in stages, because people cannot handle everything at once. I kind of took everything at once on myself almost. People cannot, and then, I don't know, they think this civil war and all of this, they have to remember that when people realize the truth, they might go and burn those churches. They might go and hound those priests. They might go and burn those mansions in Beverly Hills of the movie stars. Like, right? Because
Absolutely.
people don't think
Yes.
about it, but it can be, it's like, you don't know the level of anger.
It could be an all-out civil war.
Anya, let me ask you this.
Yeah.
Being someone who believes in past lives and works through, what do you think have you gotten any indication, because you mentioned that you've had several past life regressions and you've obviously experienced one there.
Yeah.
Can you give us an indicator of what you feel, or have you been given any type of information from whatever you channel or ever guides you of what direction you're supposed to be taking now for yourself in this life? And what are the things you're supposed to be? What do you see for yourself, and what's your mission?
So, first of all, I feel that ultimately God told me to open a bookstore in Santa Barbara in California. This is where I live right now, although I feel that I have to leave California for some time because I don't feel good anymore right now. So it's like I have to leave, recharge, come back.
Yeah.
My mission, I have two clear visions. First is the bookstore, that is not just a place to buy a book, but a place of gathering and having this kind of conversations, really, meeting new people, building friendships, having this Provençal cafe on the side, and very European, excuse me, beautiful style. An experience, because I already have the vision, like I see how this will look inside. That's one thing. Books are definitely, I'm writing now, I finished 2 books for children. It will be series of 5. I'm looking there because there's a desk. Okay, and then I have 3 more in me, so books. The YouTube channel, you know what it was, Jay and April? It was, I wanted to have really, like, I want this to be like pro, okay? Like the drones and everything, and I travel through the eyes of, like, let's say I go to London, I meet someone who lives in London, doesn't have to be famous person, but I like them and I ask them to show me the city through their eyes. So that was my idea. But now, you know, I cannot travel. So I said, I want to interview the people who I admire and who are actually, this is the beauty, like I said on Charlie Ward, the beauty is that people who, and I use this not in a negative way, just in natural way, that people who are average are actually special because each one of us is special.
You know
And
what?
we were like, yeah.
Something to live by. If you treat the extraordinary ordinary and then treat the ordinary extraordinary, your life will be great.
Yes, and one more thing, because I will forget this, but this will be few years along the way. Because through all this situation with my moving back to Poland and then deciding to come back to United States, that's another thing. That's another story, but I don't want to tell you now because I will literally cry.
Oh.
I had to give my dog away, find him a new home. I took a dog from United States to Poland, and my heart was literally like someone took heart out of me.
Yeah, for sure.
So God told me to open like a hotel, like on the land, to have this place where people who cannot afford, that was the thing. I wanted someone to take him for some time when I will find the ground back in US, when I rebuild myself. Because guys, I left everything like they say, drop it like it's hot. I literally did that. Like crazy person. I had nervous breakdown. And I went back to Europe and then I was like, oh my God, the car is gone. Everything was gone.
My dog.
And now you have to
the dog was in Poland, but then I decided to come back. So I was like, if there's a place that someone could take him and just hold him for like even 6 months and I will rebuild and I will take him back. So that is my vision.
It's like a doggy extended daycare.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's got to be out there.
Uh-huh.
No
Hold on,
way.
wait. Hold on a second.
So
Yeah.
Anya, you were talking.
She was talking about her extended dog hotel.
Your extended dog hotel. So tell us a little bit about that, your vision you got, or what you've been told that.
So imagine there is, who knows? I think it might be California, but I have this strong connection to England. I would like to live in Europe and US. You know, I have to. I feel it because there are parts of US you cannot make. You just need balance. So imagine someone is going through divorce or some health issues, or it's a lone person, they have a dog and they don't have money to take care of this dog for some time, whatever time it is. And I would like to be in the financial position. I feel God will help me.
That would be so cute.
When they bring this dog, and doesn't matter how long, I will take care of this dog.
And you'll love it.
For free.
Yeah.
Aren't you a love there? You mentioned earlier here that you have to leave so you can recharge yourself because you don't feel good right now. Can you tell me about what it is that you don't feel good? Is that more, if you don't mind me asking, is that physical?
Oh, no problem. And I don't think California is the only state that feels like this.
Oh yeah.
Because
would you stay in the United States? Do you want to go to a different?
No. I'm thinking to actually move maybe. Well, first, what I'm doing, I'm kind of like on standby, guys. But let me tell you why I don't feel okay. All those fires that are happening here right now in California. There's nothing to do with climate warming, okay? I will not mention the names. I will go around. Those who are wise and they know, they know. I never cared about politics. I had incredibly high-paced course of politics in the last 5 months.
Yeah.
And now I realize
that's true.
Right, how important it is who is running the state. Because I have problem, and I don't wear the mask, only when I go to the stores. It literally causes me, and I cannot enter grocery store without the mask here. I cannot. It's not like they say it's a mandate. It is a mandate, and I can have a document, but they will tell me, doesn't matter, you still have to leave the store.
Right.
So I put this mask for like literally, 15 minutes, 20 minutes max. And I have to, it's psychological shock because it's almost like someone is trying to,
to shut you up.
Yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
I see what it is observing how people are. And I live in an area, I live very modest way, but I live in an area, I live actually very close to those wealthy people.
Mm-hmm.
And I see the percentage of those people, about 80%, 85, is still in this. And I'm not talking inside the store, because this is like, I have a compassion, I'm doing this myself, not like I agree with this, but I'm talking when you come out, the first thing I do when I come out, I take it off.
Mm-hmm.
First thing. And then no, they go to the car, they go inside the car, there is just them in this car, and then bye-bye. And I'm like,
It's
And they're
brainwashed.
wearing
Yeah,
it.
they've just been brainwashed.
Do you feel like we're
I
going
mean, you have
through?
that awful governor there. He's
oh,
awful.
Yeah, I
no,
know.
I cannot,
He's evil.
April, I cannot look at the face. I
And
cannot.
neither can I.
I feel the energy.
Yeah, it's awful.
The energy's very off there, isn't
Yeah.
it? Do you feel like we're going through do you think this is a political warfare? Or do you really feel like we're going through spiritual warfare right now? Is this our Anya, is this our apocalypse? Is it our end of times that we're experiencing from some capacity? Do you feel anything along that?
I really think that because we are on the surface of this, so we perceive it from the human standpoint. But what it really is I don't know exactly the name of those entities, but billions and billions of years ago, when Earth was created, Earth was also populated, or there was an invasion, let's say, by certain type of entities. And a lot of them, changed or not, they still exist, less and less, but they do exist on this planet. So the fight is here and the fight is outside, because I know this with all my being, that the humanity will win this time. This is it.
What do you think about Trump?
I tell you that what amazes me with him, I never really cared before March much. I was never like against, but I don't care politics, don't talk to me politics, I don't watch TV, I'm like my books and other things. And I started to watch almost every single briefing that he has, because I also understand how he communicates.
Yes.
And now, knowing what I know, I feel sometimes like I literally get teared up when I see him. And this is not the position, this is, I feel how important his role is.
Do you feel he's anointed of some sort? Do you feel
And I think this is the people like, because this is the collective level of souls. We all agree in this. We agreed before we came. The bad ones agreed to play that role. The good ones agreed to play that role. And I tell you guys, I mean, this is spiritually raw as weeping through. So
that's what the sign says.
Like he definitely has some support from the higher dimensions. There's no question. He tells people so much that they cannot understand this because their frequency is not matching his frequency.
Yes.
Do you think that's what's making people sick right now? Do you feel like they're in a struggle of where their frequency is, and people are throwing around terms like 3D and 5D and this whatever? What's your opinion on that? You yourself had mentioned too that you're going through some stuff. Do you feel like you think you're just going through what you're going through because you're just evolving, so it's part of the process, or is it a feeling of being stuck? Can you help us with that?
You know what it is? I was thinking also that, and all of us, nothing is ever wasted in universe. It's really every experience that we go through, it's for something further along the way. So we also go through certain loops and certain repetitions of behaviors. So like we are closing certain
Cycles. Yeah, that's true.
with the same person and different body.
Mm-hmm.
Or the story or behaviors or whatever it is, or emotional things. What I know for me is that all those years of doing a lot of spiritual work, I went to Abraham Hicks seminars, I went to Tony Robbins, I walk on fire.
What did you think about Abraham Hicks? What was your experience? Did you think it was authentic, or was it BS?
Well, now I really don't feel the need to listen to Abraham at this point. Mm-hmm. But they always emphasize this, like they always say, you don't really need this. But I actually was in a hot seat. There's one chapter in my book about my experience with them in a hot seat. But I tell you, there was a time of my life when I needed them, and they helped me to understand a lot of things. But at the same time, I love Jesus. I love Yeshua. And I have certain books that is channeling of Yeshua. I don't think we really need to read the book to connect with him, but sometimes you just, And
like to read the book.
And in whatever form it comes to you, your heart will tell you, you will feel it, you will cry, you will feel softness and ease. And I think what it is, ultimately, when you are tense and dense, that's not the thing. When you relax and you feel at ease, this is the frequency where you're going. That's where you want to achieve. Because
Anya, what do you see for us now? We're here in September of 2020, for those of you watching after the fact. What do you see for us coming, let's say, in the next 6 months? I mean, when you look out and see the trends of what are happening from what you've experienced in Poland and also from a spiritual side of yourself, what do you see for us? What does the United States look like 2021 when we turn the corner?
I think a lot of people have already been taken out of this earth plane, let's put this way. But nevertheless, what I think is going to happen. So let's focus first on the election. This is very symbolic here, because I do feel he will win. He will win, but it doesn't mean that after he wins, everything will be like back. No. There will be still a period of disagreement and frustration and distraction, maybe. Mm-hmm. What I truly feel, and that's why, just connecting with this, the new financial system, that's why he's doing this in stages. Some people have debts removed. It won't be called Nesara. It might never even have a name, but it will be a certain new way of, completely new way of living. So I don't think, like the golden standard, perhaps something will come out in October as far as this, like maybe they will revalue gold and silver. But I do feel that if he will announce completely new financial system, let's say he wants to come out and say new system, this will be symbolic because he loves symbols and he likes revenge. If someone did wrong, he wants to reverse it and do right. Yes. So he will do it when the federal bank was announced, which was on the 23rd or 21st of December, 1913 by Wilson, okay? So if he will say, hello, my lovely American citizens, this is the new future for us, that might be the day. I don't think anything like, he's doing the political moves now. Today, he has visit from Israel, Bahrain, and United Arab Emirates. This is huge. Like people don't realize, like Bosnia and Herzegovina, those moves are huge. So he's setting the stage, not just for US, for the earth, okay? I think honestly, guys, I still want to go to Europe in December, so I hope we go back to some normality by then.
It's gonna be cold. It's gonna be cold.
It's gonna be freezing there.
What's your thoughts? What's your thoughts, Anya? Do you believe in the concept?
One more thing.
One more, yeah, go ahead. It's okay.
Because people want justice, and I think they should see those tribunals.
Okay, so
Yeah,
You think they
I
should see the
think
Travis?
Yes, I agree. I agree.
March
Okay.
next year
Mm-hmm.
is happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. March next year.
People do need for their own, there's some people that absolutely will never ever believe it unless they see concrete evidence.
So there's been
Yeah.
there's been a lot of talk right now, Anya, of which we're not seeing as what we're hearing of different variations of it, but of mass arrests coming right now. There are mass indictments, mass arrests happening right now. Do you actually believe that's happening right now?
Yeah.
Do you do believe we're going through mass
I
arrests
think
right now?
two crucial people are already gone. I don't
Right.
want to say the name. One is a man, one is a woman. So
Hillary and Obama.
figure out.
One is a man, one is a woman. Do you
Never know nowadays. Nowadays,
I was just
That's
about
so
to say
true.
that. Exactly.
That's so true. You never do know. Do you believe in the concept of a 3D and a 5D, that there is
Yes.
this 3D, which is this quote unquote maybe fiction? Now, when you look at 3D, how do you describe it? What's your description of a 3D?
Fear.
Fear. Do you think it might be like a hell on earth kind of experience?
Fear and, well, I feel it like not trusting God.
Not trusting God. Okay.
Bingo. I totally agree with that.
And so when you go to the 5D, then is it okay to maybe assume that that would be the reverse of that? Not so much fear and trusting God, or how would you look at that?
You know what I think it is with us, Jay? We want to
Mm.
know everything. And when we sign up for this journey, we were born and we didn't know anything how this life will unfold. Well, we kind of had an agreement before, but we have free will. So what it is with us, we have to accept the unknown and just follow the instinct, follow the intuition, follow the heart. So 5D, I don't really use this terminology too much because it's still like boxing in certain categories. Okay, you're already up and you're below. No, I think ultimately when you see who like this, to me, I must have reason. I have a reason, like, no, I must have raised my vibration because I won't be able to talk to you or other people like you.
Mm-hmm.
So this is representation for me already being on this certain frequency. And not everyone will receive. Those people who receive those information.
Did you just say that?
Yes.
Right when you said that, there was a flash of light, and there's only one light in here, and it hasn't moved.
And it said Anya.
So that definitely, and that gave me, I have chills. That was so cool.
When you look at where you're going right now, and you see things, and
that was your confirmation.
Yeah, hopefully it was. I really hope it was for you. Do you, when you're raising your vibration, as you call it, and you're connecting with people like minds, is that what you feel is going to happen for a lot of people, or do you feel like most people are going to go by the wayside and get stuck in their whatever you want to call it?
A trap.
You know, do you think there's going to be
a mental trap?
You know, like you've experienced them. Obviously, you're sharing with us some personal challenges that you're moving through on that one. I appreciate that. And hopefully people can heal from your message. I really do hope for that. But do you feel that a majority of the people are going to be stuck there and not be able to have that breakthrough that you're working on right now, or do you feel like it's going to be a blanket?
Actually, I see, and I think I want to mention one book before I answer, because this book will help a lot of people who are almost like stepping there but not sure. This book is, and I want to interview the author one day. This book is called Your Soul's Purpose by Robert Schwartz. When I read this book a year ago, and I was in a situation when I had completely broke relationship with my family, and it happened, my father was in the position, I had to go back to Poland and help him because my mom passed away and he was in depression. And long story short, I had to completely bring him back to life in every way. It was difficult because we never had good relationship. We now have. I came across this book right before my trip, and this book really helped me. Why? Because in this book, in a very beautiful way, there are real stories of people who were able to, they had the reading, the channeling, whatever how you call it, about why their soul has chosen certain life and the experiences. So what I think it is right now, the majority, how I see this, I actually see, and you know how I see this, Jay? When I look where Trump is traveling and people are coming to see him, I feel the energy of this, and I'm like, there is more people who are higher now than we realize. There is a very small group. It is not a big group, but the intensity of the cruelty and the intensity of destruction, it made people believe that they are so powerful.
Yeah.
So I think overall we are rising. The frequency is definitely rising. Like I'm telling you, humanity is gonna win. It will be a little bit longer like this. In a year from now, we are like, whew.
That's going to be awesome.
You mentioned a few times here about soul agreements, soul arrangements, if you would, and some variation of that. Do you believe that we actually incarnate as groups of people and say, and so before we
Yes.
come here, we say, okay, well, okay, this is what you're going to do. This is what you're going to do. And around this time on Earth plane, I'm going to meet you here. And maybe we're going to have a conversation here on some internet. They call it the internet, right?
But
And
Jay,
yeah.
But Jay, tell me, April, tell me, you know this. You feel this between one another, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
It's undeniable.
You know this. Because this is almost like I look at you and I'm like, they are like, you know, like you're really from the same, like you come from one.
Thank you. Twin plane.
That's what they say. That's what they say, right? So what about you? Where's your twin
Yeah,
flame?
let's talk about you. More importantly, let's
Oh,
talk
I-
about
I'm very,
Yeah,
yeah, I don't
hold on
want
a minute
to, I
here.
don't want to talk about me. That's why we interview
think-
people.
Yeah, what's your story?
Nice try on flipping
Okay.
the role there, lady. What about you? Where's yours? You're a great heart there. You
I mean,
know?
by the time this interview, you're going to be like flooded with marriage proposals. People
No,
are going to be knocking down your door.
When you read my book, it will give you a lot of answers, but that solitude was very important for me to go
Solitude
through.
was very important.
But not any
But
longer.
now-
You're past solitude. You're ready. You are ready to meet your match, girlie.
But you know, I feel this guy, and I feel that, I don't know if he's British, but there is something with England. Either he lives in two places. I see
What
this.
about if maybe it was a person that had a past life connection in England?
No,
No?
still current. But then there is something that really fascinates me. I don't know if, like, he has something to do with the White House. Because I like brilliant minds. So maybe like an agent, who knows? But that is very,
Are you taking
I don't know.
notes?
I just,
Anya, you gotta give me a sec because I'm trying to put together your dating profile right now. So we know that the person has to have something to do with the White House, and
England.
they have to be
it
British.
will come.
Yes. Okay. So short. Do they?
How tall?
I mean, how tall? How tall? That's why we're here on this topic. How tall do they need to be? Let's manifest this for you. 'cause
Yes.
it's
I can
serious.
tell you how I see him. This is
Okay,
not-
tell us how you
Let's
see it.
What
'cause
what does he look like?
Yes.
He's taller, but you know, there is, okay, so imagine this. I will paint a picture for you.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
Imagine you are in like British countryside.
British countryside.
Beautiful trees and peaceful, and the wind is blowing through the leaves.
Yeah.
And it's like kind of autumn, fall, and the cozy cashmere sweaters, etc.
Right.
You
You haven't
go
given this
to-
much thought at all. Okay.
No, it's like and there is this room, and this is beautiful room with fireplace and books, and has a green walls, like a green, very British style. And then I enter this room, and then this very comfortable green velvet cognac color looking sofa. And on this sofa sits this
We
man.
need some background
And
music
there's
now.
so much goodness. But what you do, it's like when you enter the room, he puts his book away, he looks at you, and there is so much goodness. Oh,
Ah.
and you don't need to say a word. He just embraces you, and everything is where it's supposed to be. That's how I see it.
So this
Wonderful.
is it a castle in England? At least it's got to be a castle. I mean, let's shoot.
Estate.
Okay, a state. Okay, even better. Okay, got it. A state. All right. So for those of you who are watching Anya, you know, if you don't meet any of those criteria,
Just back off.
yeah, just
Don't
please,
even.
yeah, please don't apply. It looks like so. No, if you don't have a castle or a state, forgive me. You don't have a countryside. There's no cognac. You're not a cognac person. Again, sorry.
No, it was just the color description.
Oh, the color description. Okay, so you can. Yes.
The bottle of the cognac. Oh my God, where is this going?
Oh, we're just going. It's going wherever it's going where it needs to go.
I know.
Exactly. You know what? This is your party here today, so it's all right. We're just all willing participants.
And how
right?
old is this person? What range?
Definitely, I think I am 48 right now.
God bless you, girlie.
I think
You look half that.
No, you know, April, I have to tell you, honestly, guys, I tell
Must
you,
be all that Chanel.
in the last few months, I felt like I aged so much.
You did.
No.
And then I'm like, you know, it's okay.
Yes, you
And
did.
I will.
No, meaning you did as a
let you
question.
see.
Oh.
I'm not saying you did. No.
It's okay.
Why do you feel that way?
Because I kind of, you know what it is? It's like when I was working still to pay the bills, of course. So you have this ritual, and I didn't really enjoy too much the job. But the point is, now when everything is like, it was like the time was like shapeless. Like you don't have to do this, you don't have to that. So like you don't do the makeup, you don't do the hair. And then I was like, I don't like this. Like I want, you know, to like
Feel youthful and beautiful. Exactly. That's why you're starting to do interviews again.
You know, one of the things we say on the show, like we've been interviewed over the last 10 years on this show a bunch of times too, people asking us what our thoughts are. And I don't know about you, but I've always said myself, one of the favorite things I love about this show is it's therapy. For me, it's therapy. It's like the best therapy in the world, you know, really. It's like you get to talk about this and you get to
express how you feel
and you release that, and when you know what I mean. So I really truly hope you do continue with this, and I hope to see more of you.
I'm so grateful for you guys, because this is I feel like you're my new friends, and I never
absolutely
really I just love your energy and
likewise
joy that comes from you. And you know, you might not share all the challenges that you have, but that's still you show up. I think what it is important right now, it was also for me. Doesn't matter how big your account is or you start or whatever, you just show up.
Just show up.
Show up. Because so many people are suppressed and like, oh, I don't have this and this. I don't have many followers, but you know, I have and I know they will grow with time. Of course, I would like to, but what I also have noticed, people with huge following, you know how much pressure is on those people, guys?
A lot.
I know, they have to stand
a lot
for like whatever lives matter, and they have to put which side they are on, because one contract will break, and a lot of them are not living with integrity and say, no, I'm not gonna do this. So they do it, and I'm like, oh my God, this is like the big reveal. You wear the mask, you do this, you do this. I'm like, wow, no.
And that's what's happening right there. Wow. That is Anya, everybody. Wow. I hope you enjoyed getting to know her. We most certainly did. Yeah, we wish you a lot of love and luck on your journey. For real. You know, you're a lovely person, really. And check out, we're going to have, do you have your book with you?
I do.
Yeah, hold it up. Hold it up. We're going to have, so check out her book, everybody, right there, Becoming Self, and we'll have a links for her channel so you can check it out and subscribe, because it's
and the website.
We'll get all that stuff out.
And I give you my Instagram account too, so you can post, because I'm the most active on Instagram, really. I feel like
Instagram's your thing?
Yeah, it's my thing. And because a lot of information, it's funny because I don't really post like political things, only in the stories.
That's good. That works.
All right. Okay. Right on, everybody. So Anya, thank you very much. Yeah. Many blessings
I'm
to you.
going to interview you too, you know. Get ready.
Oh, okay. The roles will be reversed.
Yeah, you already tried to pull those shenanigans. I tell you, that's good. But see, that's great about that. You were just kind of like putting it right in there. So.
Right.
Yeah, that's good. So lots of luck to you. All right, it's good to meet. It was very
Thank
nice to
you
meet you.
guys
Very
so
nice to meet you today.
Love,
So
lots of love to you and your dogs.
yeah, thank you very much.
And the world will absolutely fall in love with you. For
Nah,
sure.
there you go.
Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. And remember, tune in often. Tell all your friends. And most importantly, make all your dreams come true. And together we will turn the universal key to global harmony and create a unified world. Thank you, everybody. Absolutely. And as Anna says, humanity will win. Where we go one, we go all. Thank you, everybody. Have a great and blessed day.
Thanks. We'll see you next time.
Thank you. Oh, wait a minute. Thank you. Hold on a second. I want to do a because I'm going to use actually normally I would make a thumbnail, but I think the best thumbnail would be just a screenshot.
Okay.
So all together now we got to give it a nice big smile. Here we go. Perfect.
Right.
And I'll use that.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much.
I hope you enjoyed it.
It'll take us a couple days to edit it, but I'll